The iconic Woolsthorpe Manor in England is birthplace of Sir Isaac Newton. Our journey begins here, in the heartland of the scientific revolution. From the serene apple orchards to the quaint stone buildings, this place is steeped in stories of Newton's genius and quirks. But how much of these tales are true? Did an apple really fall on Newton's head and inspire his theory of gravity? Or is this just another myth, a juicy tale cooked up over the centuries? In this we're going to separate the Newtonian facts from the folklore, so buckle up and get ready to debunk some of the most popular myths about one of the greatest scientific minds in history. And yes, that includes a shocking revelation about an apple. Stay tuned until the end because we're about to take a bite out of the apple myth. Next on our journey through Newtonian lore, we explore the prism myth. Did Newton really discover the color spectrum using a prism? Let's find out. It's a widely held belief that Newton was the first to use a prism to split white light into a rainbow of colors. But was he really the pioneer? The truth is, while he wasn't the first to observe this phenomenon, he was the first to scientifically explain it. Newton's genius lay not just in observing the world around him, but in asking why things happened the way they did. He postulated that white light was made up of different colors, and used a prism to prove it, thus debunking the then popular belief that color was a byproduct of mixing light with darkness. So, the next time you see a rainbow, remember Newton's prism experiment. He didn't just show us that light splits into different colors, he explained why it happens. And in doing so, he changed our understanding of light and color forever. Onwards and upwards as we continue to explore the many layers of Isaac Newton's fascinating life and work. As we delve further into the world of Isaac Newton's myths, we stumble upon an interesting tale. Many believe Newton was only a scientist, but was he also a secret alchemist? While Newton is renowned for his scientific contributions, he did dabble in the mystical world of alchemy. However, he didn't turn lead into gold, as some might claim. That's a myth as heavy as lead itself. His alchemical pursuits were more philosophical and spiritual than practical. So, when someone says Newton was a gold-making alchemist, remember, while he might not have made any bling, his alchemical studies did contribute to his scientific discoveries, and for that, we owe him a debt of gratitude. Ever heard that Newton was born on the same day Galileo died? Sounds like a perfect torch-passing moment, right? Here's the twist though. While it's true according to the old Julian calendar, the Gregorian calendar, which we use today, shows a difference of 9 days. So, before you start planning your Newton-Galileo torch relay party, remember this. So, you might want to hold off on those party hats? Moving along to our next fascinating tale about Isaac Newton. Contrary to the widespread image we often perceive of Newton as a stern, solitary individual immersed in his scientific explorations, the reality is quite different. Historical records indicate that Newton, committed to his work, possessed a playful streak. The startling part is that he once even gambled with his sight, understand light's nature better by poking a needle in his eye. An eye-opening revelation indeed. There you go, Isaac Newton. More than just an intellectual, he was also quite the thrill-seeker. Stay with us as we continue to unearth more captivating stories about this luminary of the Enlightenment period. Finally, let's address the most famous story attributed to him, the apple incident. Popular lore tells us that Newton discovered gravity when an apple fell on his head, but let's set the record straight, it's a myth. No historical evidence supports the idea that an apple ever fell on Newton's head. Yes, he did observe an apple falling from a tree, and this observation sparked his thoughts about gravity. But the apple-to-head incident is a romanticized version of the story, likely invented to make the discovery more dramatic and accessible. Newton was a keen observer, drawing deep insights from everyday occurrences like seeing an apple fall from a tree. He didn't need to be hit on the head to start thinking about why things fall downwards. It was his natural curiosity and brilliant mind that led him to formulate the laws of motion and universal gravitation. So, let's celebrate Isaac Newton for what he truly was, a groundbreaking scientist and thinker. He may not have had an apple fall on his head, but he did change our understanding of the universe. And that, my friends, is no small feat. Stay tuned for more fascinating tales about Newton's life and discoveries.